I heard that when you met Karl, you said, "How are you?" And he said, "I'm fine." And then you said, "How do you feel about having your erect cock on the cinema screen in my movie?" What was his response?
Most boys enjoy that idea.
Really?
No, I would say, yeah. I had almost all my friends in France were desperate to be in the movie.
No.
Yeah, desperate. Man, boys like showing their cock.
Hi, I'm Kim Taylor-Bennett, and welcome to this episode of Vice Talks Film. Today I'm joined by director Gaspar Noé, who's the auteur behind Irreversible and Enter the Void, and we're going to be talking about his latest film, Love.
Electra, what is your ultimate fantasy?
Can you show me how tender you can be?
You're the love of my life. Can you keep a secret? I messed it all up. I love you! How can something so wonderful bring such great pain?
I would love to know that we can fall in love again and again and again.
So how was last night's screening? Because I imagine you get quite a lot of different reactions depending on what country you're showing this in.
The negative reaction mostly came from male film critics.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Men have problems with the dick of other men. Especially the heterosexual men don't like watching a young pretty girl with someone with a dick erected next to her in real life. So I had very reptilian reactions to it, and almost like they're not conscious or intelligent reactions. They're very stupid and visceral reactions from some male film critics.
Wow, I'd never considered that being a thing.
Men are very competitive.
Very competitive. Yeah, that's true. You have said that you enjoy your bad reviews as much more so than your good ones.
Yeah, I know. It's good to have enemies in life.
Is it?
It is good. No, it's better to have like official enemies than tricky friends. All I must have open at Cannes Film Festival. And when you go to the Cannes Film Festival, all the film critics are there from all over the world. They've been drinking for a week. They've been partying for a week. They've been watching 5 movies a day, and they're all going nuts. So either they say the movie's a masterpiece or that it should be banned and destroyed forever. So you always have very extreme reactions in that festival that are enjoyable. I like when people scream, but also sometimes the reviews that say, "No, this is not a movie. This is just you use condom." You say, "Oh, I have a new enemy. Welcome to the club."
What is it about the erect male penis that is still so shocking in cinema?
Oh, it's not in cinema that's shocking. It's maybe in the audience. Some people have problems with that, but half of the world has one. So and I think the other half enjoys the first half. So. As
a society, or certainly in America, we're getting almost more puritanical than maybe we were.
That society, in any case, is more puritanical nowadays than 40 or 50 years ago when it comes to the representation of love. Mm-hmm. And I seriously don't understand why, because even all the sex scenes that you can find on the net, or any kid can nowadays find those images, are disconnected from what I know of real life. No, the way it's represented in those small videos that don't relate to any love story. People never kiss. No one ever gets pregnant, or there's no danger of pregnancy. Even the way the people look, they don't look like regular people. The guys are all bodybuilders. The girls are all shaven with tattoos. And
I heard that having a natural bush was very important for this film.
Certainly, because I was born in the 60s, and I was raised not collecting because I was young, but watching images of female beauty on magazines like Playboy and Louis or Mayfair, and all those girls were all natural, and they all had like the most natural bushes. And for me, that was my ideal of female beauty, and it still is. So I said, well, if I want to make a movie that I would relate to, I want to find girls and boys that are attractive and seductive.
Do you believe that we're built for monogamy? Or do you think that's an archaic kind of notion?
Oh, I think it's not in the genetic code. It's
Really?
a social code. Yeah. You know, we're built to reproduce the species and help the species to survive on the long term.
Talk straight away about our feeling. Say to each other what we want to do. You can do whatever you want if you ask me to.
Anything I want?
Yes, you can have a lot of freedom if you ask me to.
We're programmed to enjoy the act of making love. And there is a mammal, the brain is separated in 3 brains. You have the reptilian brain that is very sexual. It's all about survival of the species, domination. Then you have a second brain above the reptilian brain, which is the cortex that all mammals have. The second one, the mammal brain, makes you stick to people you love, like what people call love. Usually comes more from the mammal brain. The reptilian brain is not very lovingful. It's very sexual, but it's not lovingful. The second one is the one that permits you to get attached to your brother or sister, or mostly to your brood, the ones you want to protect around you. So I would say that the movie is very mammal, more than... When you see like adult videos that are very reptilian, when you watch this movie, it's mostly a sentimental mammal movie.
Do you think we will stay together forever?
Forever is a long time. I should hope so.
Forever is a long time. You're not playing to... Oh.
What?
Ayahuasca makes a return in this film. You've taken it yourself. Would you recommend it?
Ayahuasca, yeah. Ayahuasca is a very strong mix of 2 plants. It contains DMT. They say that DMT is the substance that your brain releases during the night and makes you dream. You can also smoke chemical DMT, and you can have the strongest visuals you've ever had by smoking that. You can also drink ayahuasca. Those images are so weird sometimes, or even the thoughts are so weird, that you can sometimes feel that some alien force has taken possession of your brain. And yet some people feel mentally raped by those plants or products. I don't know, it's very good for some people to not do it because they're fragile. Some other people feel they're strong enough to do it. I know, once again, every person has his own way of searching for the truth, and yeah, it can open gates, but it can also be very scary.
And how have you found it?
I don't regret it at all. I haven't done since I finished Into the Void, because those experiences are very strong, and I don't know if they're mind-fucking, but they are, they shake you a lot.
Do you believe in the healing power of ecstasy?
When you're very, very stressed, dancing, swimming, making love are great things. And those things, usually when you do them, you release a lot of natural molecule in your brain called serotonin. And the serotonin makes you happy. You feel satisfied. The thing about MDMA, you take it and you release the serotonin without swimming, without dancing, without making up. So it's like you have like the chemical or the hormonal epilogue without having the before. So yeah, you can enjoy it. You feel relaxed, but also you have a headache the next day.
Yeah,
and usually the next day you're watching the sitting. So I know. Yeah.
Some people have said, you know, because there's a cameo of you in the film, and then, you know, there's characters called Gaspar and Noé, and then you have your sister's name, and, you know, that this film is like very narcissistic. What would you say to those people?
I don't think it's narcissistic. It's I wanted to put elements of the world I know, and also, like, I would say names for me are like melodies. I enjoyed putting names that I relate to. The only character that has a name that I don't relate to is Electra. But I would say there are many elements of my life. The film posters on the walls are my film posters. The jacket and some T-shirts that Karl is wearing in the movie were my own T-shirts, shirts. And the movie's about like someone, it's not me, but it's like a young brother that can understand and I don't follow all the time.
Did you ever have an abortion?
No.
Good.
Me neither.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that. No, like...
Although, I would have to say I am pro-choice.
Really?
Yeah. You're not?
I'm pro-life.
You're pro-life?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Okay, so you're against abortion, but you're cool with people killing animals and then you eating them?
I didn't really like Murphy at all.
No wonder.
He's an asshole. I found him difficult to watch, and I didn't find him endearing, and I thought he was pretentious. I mean...
Like most people. For me, he's like a very normal guy. Like almost all the film students that I know are like him.
Right. Well, this is the thing that I subsequently, after I watched it, I kept thinking about it, and I was like, okay, well, they are like pretentious art school students, and I guess that's the way some people talk, and that's why. But I was just like, oh God.
They're not heroic.
No,
for sure.
they're like. I found the love scenes, you know, it was very palpable, the emotion between them, and it was very intimate. But then when they were talking, and that's when I was like, I don't know if they're in love. I don't know if I can believe that.
You love them when they're kissing.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought it would be almost a silent musical movie, and it ended up being like a musical comedy in which you have one scene of dialogues and then one scene with music. And as when you watch musical comedies, you're always waiting for the next musical scene. And so you're happy when they stop talking and you hear the music coming in. They say, oh, they're going to get naked and we're going to enjoy the moment.
I'm really interested in the casting process because you have the guy who plays Murphy is an actor, but then, you know, Electra is someone who's never acted before. How did you find her?
I met her in a cocktail party. Mostly was her ex-boyfriend who was an actor who was pushing her to meet me, but she never cared about playing in a movie. And that's a thing in life. When people are too beautiful, you get scared of them. When people just don't care,
it's more appealing.
It's more appealing.
Yeah.
Mostly, I work with non-professional actors because it's just like, I like when people don't care about being in the movie or not. So, you know, mostly I say I have a casting director to make people feel safer. But the truth is that then I don't have any casting director, it's just me.
Okay.
It's like a game. And when you find playful people who are charismatic, they enjoy playing a new game.
Well, was the chemistry between them instant? I mean, how did they...
Yes, no, it wasn't instant, but no, I would say I don't know if I would call it attraction, but if you would film them together, you would say, yeah, this is a believable couple. And also because they're playful and intelligent, they just play the game, and the truth is that they kiss for the first time, the first day of shooting in front of the camera.
Will you promise me something? No matter what, we protect each other from anyone who will ever stand between us.
I promise.
I promise too.
for this film, the 3D really puts you in the bedroom with them and increases the intimacy.
Yeah.
That was obviously the point.
Yeah. And also, yeah, but I was playing with the 3D home video camera. When you play with those small cameras, you understand very quickly that the camera should not shake or move because it's kind of not shaking. So by using that little camera, I understood that if I was doing a 3D movie, all the movies had to be very slow. And at the end, because the 3D camera system that we used was very heavy, we ended up doing still images more than moving images.
Mm-hmm. The script, the outline is 5 pages long, 8 pages.
Yeah. I know the first one was 5 pages long. When we finally shot the movie, it was 7 pages long. But I purposely did not write the dialogues because I saw that especially if I was working with non-professional actors, I thought it's much funnier and much safer for me to invent or reinvent the situations and the dialogues on the set with the energies of the people you're filming and also the energies of the people who are behind the cameras.
Let's talk about the music. It's a very, very important part of this film. How difficult was it to find the right pieces of music to accompany these intimate scenes?
I filmed without the whole movie without knowing what music I was going to put on the scenes. Even for the dancing scenes, for example, there's one dancing scene in slow motion, so we played all kind of electro or techno music, so we get people dancing. But at the end, that scene is in slow motion, and we put a piece of Pink Floyd that is very slow, and it really matches with it. The whole choice of music happened during the editing process. I was very surprised that I finally could get that piece of Pink Floyd. I was extremely happy that John Carpenter accepted to give me the music of the main theme of Assault on Precinct 13, and I didn't expect that I could have one of my favorite pieces of Brian Eno, one music by Bobby Beausoleil that he had done for Kenneth Anger's Lucifer Rising, that is amazing, and there is some music coming from a Dario Argento movie, and also there are pieces of John Frusciante. And although the movie was made with a very low budget, I could negotiate at the last moment all those musics, and it looks like an extremely rich soundtrack. It adds a lot of sentimentality to the movie, and I could not reconsider nowadays watching the movie without those songs. I was extremely lucky that the musicians and record labels were so helpful to me.
Some people have found this film comforting, like, oh, we all fall in love, we all fuck each other over, and someone ends up devastated, but then you just carry on. What do you want the takeaway to be for this film for audiences?
I would say that there's something I like in the movie, and I will not reveal exactly what happens, but at the end, his addictive love passion becomes something else, and he's like, at the end, he's in love with someone else in a very different way. But he still is addicted to his carnal love, passionate love, as most heroin junkies, when they stop doing heroin 20 years later, when they just hear the name, they start checking again.
Thanks so much for joining me.